Hey Thermo Foodies, it's Chef here. I just needed to really quickly whip up a lamb pie. God, I hope I said that right. So actually because I need a photo for the book, so it better turn out good because it's going to be in the book. So yeah, 6 days to launch. So I just want to show you because this is a really tricky one. It's not a tricky one to make, but it's a tricky one to explain. So I definitely want to have a video of this so you can follow on with the visual side. So I'm going to turn the camera down now. So what I've got here, so which way? This way. I made this mixture yesterday because I ran out of time and I noticed the lamb was coming to the end of its use by date. So I quickly cooked up the lamb mixture yesterday and chucked it in the fridge. And then today I just chopped the mint and stirred it through just now. So that's where we're at with that. I've just made one, that's why there's not much left. I'm doing two things today. I've made the lamb mixture. And because I didn't cut the eggplant yesterday, just so I don't waste it, I'm baking the, let me just show you what I've done there. In case you do this prep ahead method that I've done. I've just put some olive oil and salt onto the bits I scooped out because that will just be delicious later. So hang on, backtrack. In the recipe, if you're making the lamb stuffed eggplant, you scoop it out and you chop it and it gets cooked with the lamb. But because I cooked the lamb yesterday and I'm only just cutting the eggplant today, I couldn't do that. Well, I could have pan fried it, mixed in, but too much work. So yeah, just doing it that way. So this is where we're at with these. I have scooped them out, rubbed them with olive oil and salt, baked them for 15 minutes, and now I've put the lamb mixture in. So that is ready to go. Then I made the fathead dough. Now, ideally, you want to rest that in the fridge, like really rest it, but I just don't have time. So what I've done instead is I've rolled it out, I wrapped it up, and I'm resting that in the fridge because now I just feel a little bit better about being ready to chuck this all in the oven at the same time soon. So now what I'm going to do is make a second one of those so that you can see. I'll put that back in the fridge. So this is the bit I'm talking about that the instructions were a bit difficult for me to write. Had a lot of help though with our testers and Nat Cosmonopoulos helping me to explain this. So you can measure that out. It's a quarter of the recipe, but I've made this enough times now to know. I'm going to show you the trick that I do. So using the paper, because it's sticky, if you touch it with your hands, it's still quite sticky. I'm going to make that into a rough oval. See? Football shape. I'm going to put the second sheet on, put a chopping board on, and press it out. So now I've got a bit of an oval. It's quite circular actually. I would have liked that to be a little bit more oval. But that's why the chopping board trick I recommend for pizzas, because it comes out circular every time. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna gently make that a little bit more oval. So that's what you want, sort of a football shape. And I got quite big hands, so that's like full hand. Okay, I'm gonna try and fit the rest of this in. My eggplant was quite small, so ideally I would want only a quarter of this mixture. It's probably a little bit more. Let's just do it. Don't want to waste any. The more you fill it, the trickier the next stage gets. So I may as well make it challenging. Earn my name. So what you do now is you're going to pick up, the way we've described it is you want to, anyway, whatever, I can't remember. We're going to pick it up with the paper like this, and I'm going to bring it in and press it down a bit Now this is the bit you want to be careful of. You want to peel that back quite carefully because sometimes it can still be sticking to the paper. So that's just the sides in now. And when I do the ends, I just use the paper again and then just pinch it at the ends. Flatten it again a little bit. Press it down there and peel it back. You see the shape we're creating here? And at this end, we're going to pinch it, press it again here, a little bit further back, and then gently peel it back. Okay? Now, this bit here, see how that's leaning more out than in? Because this fathead dough is made mostly of cheese, as a lot of you would, got my cleavage there, would know, it softens up before it kind of cooks. So you kind of go through this phase of it cooking where the cheese starts to melt, gets a bit soft, then it starts to cook, and then it browns, and when you bring it out the oven and it cools slightly, then it gets a bit harder and easier to hold. So it's just like exactly like cheese. When you melt cheese, that stage it goes through. So this bit here that's sort of a bit open, if I put that in the oven like that, most likely as it goes through that softening stage, that will flop that way. So I'm just going to press that one more time like this. So now it's leaning in, because as it softens, it will then hold its shape better. Okay, that one's looking pretty good. Looks better than the first one I did. I did that one really rushed. So this is a good time to put in some feta if you're going to use the feta. And then I'm going to stick it in the fridge for a few minutes because I did skip that resting stage, and then I'm going to whack that in the oven, and hopefully it turns out good enough that it'll be the photo that you're looking at in the book. All right, awesome. Any questions, let me know. Thanks, bye.